track to click?
99.3% of the stuff I do is click.
Yeah.
And
what about back in the day?
Back in the day, we were still using click. I mean, when I started with in LA with Off the Wall, I mean, even going back to the Berkeley days in early 74, I was introduced to a film click, and everything was clicked, you know, when I replaced all the drums. But when I got to Off the Wall, we were using a 7-frame Uri film click. And so I would be in charge of the tempos, you know, be looking at Mike and looking at Quincy and, okay, I don't know, this feels fast or this is too slow, you know, and kind of lock into that. So, and, you know, Bruce Swedien taught me that, you know, to be able to edit, you know, we want to edit on the drummer's bass drum point, you know, because they edited a lot on 2-inch tape in those days. So it became a mainstay. And now, you know, with the advent of Pro Tools being the standard, and, you know, Logic is a runner-up kind of it, everything is run off of a click basis. I understand about recording without a click. I mean, that's why my new band, we don't use clicks at all. You know, It's live, baby.
That's awesome. All right. Well, I think I'm going to, so for everybody watching, I'm controlling JR's machine from where I'm at and kind of operating stuff. So forgive me if I miss muting a microphone or switching to sharing JR's screen or anything. Just tell me in the chat. I'm watching the whole time. We'll sort that out. I think, JR, I'm just going to close this chat out here just on your machine so we can just kind of all just kind of be here in the moment. And then I'll read you questions as they come up, if they come up. But
you got it.
I see, is that Simone? Is that from Audio Modeling? We got a lot of familiar faces in here. This is great. There's still people coming in. So again, if you haven't hit the chat, please go down to the bottom studio chat, send a message, let us know where you're watching from. We're going to get started here. There's Lele from Audio Modeling as well. We got the whole crew in here.
Yeah.
And still people coming in. So so Mark from ILIO is in there as well. And I'm going to make some introductions here. We're going to chat a little bit. And of course, we're going to get to see JR throw down on the drums here, which is going to be great. Okay. Well, welcome everybody. My name is Brendan Lyons from Sessionwire. I'm absolutely thrilled to be hosting and moderating this it's kind of a premier event for us to host on Sessionwire with our distributor ILIO. So thank you for joining us, and I'll keep welcoming people as they come in through as well. Again, my name is Brendan Lyons. We're here on Sessionwire. If you can hear my voice, make sure you go down to the bottom, hit the HQ audio menu, and select your audio interface as your output so that when we do start throwing some drums around, you're going to be able to hear what John is doing. In Sessionwire, there are 2 audio streams. One's for our voices, and one is for the HQ audios coming from JR's Pro Tools. So if you need to adjust levels, you can do that in your mixer as well. Just briefly here, a little housekeeping business. I need to thank our sponsors for this event. We're going to start with Innovative Percussion. I have to start with them because I'm also an innovative percussion artist. JR is an innovative percussion artist, makers of the finest drumsticks, mallets, and percussion tools in the world. JR, you have your signature stick and your cajon brushes and some mallet brushes as well.
Yes.
We're going to be giving some of those away at the end of this session. So, don't we all? So thank you to Innovative Percussion. Thank you to RJ at Innovative for hooking us up there. DW Drums and Slingerland Drums. J.R. Robinson is a DW Slingerland endorser. Slingerland, I think, mainly now, right?
Yeah, well, and DW everything else. But yeah, we switched over to Slingerland.
Yeah, they're all owned by the same parent company, right? So thank you to DW and Slingerland. That's Mark over there. He's going to chuck in some swag bundles we're going to give away at the end of the session as well. I'm going to be putting a link in the chat for everybody to go and go and submit for these draws. And we'll do those at the end of the session. So keep an eye out for that. I'm getting some messages here. Sorry, I've got to keep looking around here. I want to thank DPA Microphones. So Jared at DPA has graciously hooked us up with a microphone to give to the winner of this contest. DPA, the makers of some of the finest microphones in the world, reliable, pristine sounding, solid microphones. Go check out DPA Microphones. Audio modeling, they're the leader in physically modeled virtual instruments. Their Swam line delivers the most realistic and expressive virtual acoustic instruments available today. They're not sampled instruments. They're actually modeled responsive instruments. They're fantastic. So thank you for sponsoring this event. Audio modeling. Overloud, they're the creators of GEMS vintage hardware plugins, known for accurate low CPU analog recreations, and THU, a next generation amp sim with advanced modeling, capturing, and fluid IR technology for incredibly dynamic guitar tones. That was a mouthful. Thank you, Overloud. They're also a company that ILIO works with. So again, thank you, ILIO, for this. Vienna Symphonic Library, they're the creators of the most widely used orchestral sample libraries in the industry, trusted by top composers worldwide. You can probably hear some of Vienna's stuff on JR's work. JR's compositions and things like that. So thank you, Vienna. And of course, Sessionwire. Here we are. We're giving away some Sessionwire through this as well. So there it is. There's the spiel. Without further ado, we're going to dive in. The contest we ran over the last 3 weeks was incredible. We received dozens and dozens of submissions, a lot of cool music. We had a panel of people choose, I think we chose the top 5. And then we sent the 3 that we thought JR would enjoy the most to JR, and JR chose the finalist, the winner himself. So introducing Moses Patrou from Staten Island, New York.
Woo!
Congrats, Moses.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, I can't wait for people to hear this song. I can't wait for people to hear JR playing on this. We had a sneak peek yesterday. It's amazing. So congrats, Moses.
Yeah, congrats.
Yeah, all the runners up were amazing. We'll probably get in touch with the finalists and congratulatory email and make sure that they're recognized as well by us. But so Moses, just really quickly, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and this song, and then we're going to get straight into JR filling us in and get into the interesting stuff here.
Yeah, this well, I've been a musician for most of my life, and my father's a musician. I grew up in music. I was born in Nashville, and I was raised up in Madison, Wisconsin, and I've traveled a lot with music and been all over the world playing. But I did 2 records before this, and then I did this record in the last, I don't know, it was last 8 months is when I finished this record. We put it out. It took a while to do. And this song actually was one of these things that I did the music for prior to it, and then left it. It was on my hard drive, and I came back to it, found it on my, and try to figure out what the song was trying to say, and I built the song around it. So I started out, I wrote it on the keyboard, and then I came back and I played some guitar on it, filled it up with the bass. Then I figured out what the song was saying, what it was trying to, because that's kind of, sometimes it's like that. It doesn't all come at once. And then, then I came up with that. I couldn't hardly sing it because it was a hard song for me to sing. So I had to learn how to sing it. I had to learn how to play it. I mean, even up to maybe 6 months ago, I was still having a hard time playing it. I play organ, and so I'm trying to play the bass and trying to play the chords, and I'm singing, and it's like kind of up at the top of my range, not quite, but almost. So it's like every time I play it, I have to really sing it, So I didn't originally write it for myself per se. A lot of music like that, I tend to think about somebody else singing it and not necessarily me. And I've been learning to give my own voice a chance, and I've been really thinking about being more, you have to be nowadays you have to be an artist, whatever. You have to be a singer. You have to do your own thing. There isn't really a songwriting world like there used to be. I don't think. We were talking about that.
Yeah.
JR beforehand. Yeah. It's tough now for a song, for songwriters, and then there's always 7 and 8 co-writes, and then, whatever. Anyway, that's my that's the bulk of it. I probably write most of my music on keyboard or piano, and then the other part I'll write on guitar, sometimes just a bass but I started out as a drummer, so I'm actually it's great that I get to meet you, because I've been playing drums most of my life, and I've met everybody from Howard Grimes to Lionel Batiste in New Orleans, and just I've been around drummers, and I've been around musicians, like all the older guys, my whole life. So I was really blessed to always kind of be around that, because of my father, and then also people like Ben Sidran and
Right.
Leo and all the just I was always kind of surrounded by musicians. So I grew up Madison, and Clyde Stubblefield was that was kind of our the town great, so you could see him play on Monday night. He's playing at King Club or the Chamber back then, and you'd see him I was too young to go in, but you see him in the window. So I grew up seeing singing drummers, and I got to hang out with Levon Helm. I got to being in upstate New York. I used to go up to upstate with some of those guys, and so I got to it's great. It's just the whole thing kind of comes full circle.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, man, it's really cool to hear your story and kind of hear you where you come from, knowing the song that you wrote and that JR picked. Everything you're saying makes sense in terms of influences and things like that. So really quick before I introduce JR, who really needs no introduction, but I'm going to do it anyways. JR, I'm sorry. If we're going to be giving away some prizes during this at the end of the stream, I put a link in the chat. If you're watching on a phone, if you click on the link, it might take you out of the session, but just go and fill out the form really quick and come back. You can enter to win these prizes during the live stream. So hit that link. I'll put it in there a couple more times during the stream. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the most recorded, if not the most recorded drummer in history, George Benson, Michael Jackson, Rufus, Chaka Khan, the Pointer Sisters, Lionel Richie, Christopher Cross, Whitney Houston. The list goes on. A close collaborator of Quincy Jones for many years. Absolutely thrilled to have John J.R. Robinson here with us today. JR, thanks for your time.
Hey, Brendan, thank you so much. And Moses, congratulations.
Thank you.
Your song, Runaway, we're going to call it's what it is, had just a beautiful backbone of soul in it. And as I listened to other songs, it was it kind of jumped out at me, because you're singing your butt off on this, and I know you said you struggled. It's a bit maybe at the top of the range and stuff, but it's a song, and what I'm like still looking for, that Quincy just inbred in my brain, is what he used to tell us on Off the Wall. He'd go, he'd assemble this team, and this great team, and Greg Fillinganes and Lewis Johnson and Jerry Hay and Michael Boddicker and just all the and Rod Temperton. He would say, I don't want any B-sides on this record. Everything's going to be an A-side. In those days, there were flip sides, and a B-side was basically a throwaway song that would never get any record play. So, I still use that, that concept today when I listen to songs, and it's so now it's so far from that. And I just employ songwriters such as yourself and what you've done, to write from the heart, right where somebody can go down the street and skip and sing the five notes or sing the phrase or something that moves them. So, this did that to me.
I appreciate that.
Awesome.
That means a lot.
Your first listen to it, JR, I think we sent you a version with the drums previous on it.
Right.
Did you listen to it with those drums, or do you like, if you're sent a song to record on, do you mute them when you take your first listen?
There's many stories of me muting drums. Yes. However, in this case, I was in northern Iowa actually on a lake, and I was freezing my tail off. But I listened on the iPhone, and I really couldn't hear everything. So I planted that seed in my brain, came back when I had a breath, and listened to it with headphones, and then everything jumped out. This situation, once I did get the files, I muted the drums. But you have to figure out where the songwriter was coming from, and does that necessarily work for what I may perceive as the final version or a close to final version. So, I mean, there were times when I would come in and replace stuff for Quincy, and then Bruce would go, "Do you want to hear these drums?" I go, "I don't want to hear any of these drums. I want to like hear the song and see, because in reality, I may overplay on a fill, or I may underplay on a fill, and then I'm going to let the producer tell me that."
Gotcha. So in a situation like this, there is no producer in the room with you while you're, kind of working on things. So do you, how do you feel about, potentially overplaying or underplaying? What are you kind of thinking on your initial kind of like pass playing through a tune? How do you yourself produce yourself?
Yeah, I guess through all these years of playing drums and knowing what works, I equate a lot of things that I do to maybe a Rodney Dangerfield, where he has these compartments where he can substitute. It could be the same joke, but he substituted a completely different storyline in it, and he'll pull from it and then add to it. So I kind of use that analogy, but on this song that everybody's about to hear, it's in 6/8, so, or it could be perceived as 6/4, but it's 6/8. So it's got but it's got a kind of a gospel halftime vibe to it. So there are implications where there's an intro, and the intro is a little active. So I have thought to myself, am I going to keep it active? I'm going to keep it simple. You know what? I'm not locked in anything. The minute I go out there, something's going to come out. And if it's too active, then we'll have to do another take, or I'll do a punch. And I also, in this setup that I have, I'm probably one of the only people in the world that has this setup. I use an old 25-year-old Yamaha VCM DM2000 console, which folds out to 4 levels. But and I'm running it maxed with 32 inputs. It's of analog, and it's all full digital. So I'm still doing all that. So I'm able to take a track such as this and split it out. And the great Steve Sykes, the engineer, years ago when I had a garage in the old house, we set it up and started doing it, started working things out. And then when I moved into this house, I literally took over the house. and so the drum room is in the living room, but it excels up to 25 feet. But it's not too roomy. And then I have full control over large room mics. And then I've just recently added a mono mic for anybody's play toy. Mono mic you can do a lot of stuff with. So, and then one other thing I was going to add on this song, I'm going to be playing cross stick and snare drum. Well, a lot of drummers, when they record, don't mic the cross stick separately. Well, I have a separate channel for that. So on the playback that everybody will hear, I have that lowered, because when the snare comes in, I don't want it to alter the beautiful snare sound. So then when I finally, when you guys get the files, I'll be sending back almost 16 files of drums.
Wow.
And then you just bring them up, and it's a beautiful world.
It's great. We'll dig into the technical stuff after you do a couple takes too. We'll share your Pro Tools screen, and like we talked about yesterday, you can talk about the cross stick mic and how you deliver, final files, which
got it.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be great. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play a little snippet of the song before you go out into your live room, JR, and we're just going to have a little listen to it without drums, and everybody can kind of get an idea for what's going to go down, and you can kind of give us a little talk about what you're going to do when you walk out there, and we'll take like 30 seconds to switch everything over so JR can be out in the live room and we can all watch. So yeah, here we go. I'm still piloting.
And no click, I'm assuming.
No click. Yeah.
Let's get rid of those drums.
Yeah, we'll just start a new one here. So here we go. This is. We're going to make sure everybody can hear this too. So if you can't hear this music as soon as it starts playing, go down to the HQ audio menu at the bottom of Sessionwire and make sure that you pick your audio interface or your external headphones as your HQ audio destination. That's how you're going to hear what's going on. So here is Moses' song Runaway. And this is drumless for now. Okay, without giving the whole thing away, that's what JR has to work with. It's fantastic. As you can tell, the competition was fierce, and Moses is well deserving of this. So, JR, how do you feel about stepping out there and doing your thing? I'll switch everything over for you.
I'm ready to go. All right, man. Wish us all good luck. Thank you. We'll see you.
Good luck.
Ah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Oh, I got some friends on here. Thank you, guys.
Okay. So as JR is getting back there, Mike from ILIO is actually at JR's house. So, everybody say hi to Mike too. Hi, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Oh, hello! Hello! Mike. I was talking to Paul.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to mute my JR's microphone here. JR, I think if everybody can hear his drums, we should be good.
Can you guys hear those?
We can indeed. They sound wonderful. Thank you to DW.
And Istanbul Mehmet.
And Istanbul Mehmet and Innovative Percussion. And you're also a Remo artist, are you not?
I have been a Remo artist. That's probably been my longest endorsement company.
Awesome. Thank you to Remo for the wonderful sounds. Okay, so I'm going to flip Pro Tools back over for you here, JR. And there we go. We're on a new playlist. We're at the beginning of the track. I'm going to mute your talkback microphone. I'm going to mute Moses. And here we go, everybody.
Could not see I feel about you, but I guess the words got in the way. Didn't know that I was gonna be without you, but I guess you ran out of foolish games to play. They tried to warn me to take my love and run away, run away. I think I'm in trouble. I still see your face every time that I close my eyes, girl. Why can I break free? If you found another, isn't there anything that I can say to bring my babe back to me? But through all the sorrow, I know there'll be a brighter day tomorrow. I'm waiting on tomorrow. I tried to tell you how I feel about you, but I guess the words got in the way. Didn't know that I was gonna be without you, but I guess you ran out of foolish games to play. And they tried to warn me to take my love and run away. They tried to warn me to take my love and run away, run away. Believe me when I tell you. Yeah, you know that you're wrong this time. Oh, you never gave me too much trouble. When you were mine, why you keep on running, babe? Why you keep on running, babe? I tried to tell you how I feel about you, but I guess the words got in the way. Didn't know that I was gonna be without you, but I guess you ran out of foolish games to play. And they tried to warn me that you take my love and run away. They tried to warn me that you take my love and run away. They tried to warn me that you take my love and run away. They tried to warn me that you take my love and run away, run away.
Yay.
Yes.
What a beautiful song.
Thank you. Amazing performance.
Unbelievable. Okay, so a couple things here. JR, I didn't know if I should stop you in the middle of the take, but your kick-in mic seems to be very low gain right now.
Well, I'm going to have to do a little tracing.
I think it's maybe salvageable if I turn the gain up on the clip in Pro Tools, but
No, do that.
Okay.
Why don't you give me a minute?
Yeah, we'll kind of do a minute, and then we'll kind of debrief, and we'll do another.
Got it. Hold on.
Yeah.
A few moments later.
So what's actually happening right now is JR is recording to his local Pro Tool session, and we're all listening to what he's doing through Sessionwire. Yes. That's what the kick drum should sound like.
Well, all I can say is you have to wear a lot of hats.
Oh, yeah. And that's why you get paid the big. That's why you get paid the big bucks. You're not just playing the drums.
The big buck.
The big buck.
Yeah, you know what? I'm looking at the cable, and it looks like a family of rats have taken it and used it.
Oh no! Okay.
No, it's all good. Do we have any comments before I do a real take?
Well, so Moses.
Yes, sir.
Your thoughts?
I thought it was great. Yeah, I mean, the obvious. I think all the stuff that happened in the build, and it seems like it felt very natural, and It was interesting where you brought the when you brought the snare in.
Right. It was the second B section.
Right.
I mean, I could hold out and bring it in on the C, which
no, I think where you did it was fine. So before, I'm just so used to hearing it the way I've been hearing it, but it came in before in the first chorus. But right. It's interesting to keep it out because it gives it a different build.
Well, and my reasoning is because, I mean, the song is fairly long. So, I mean, should we down the line cut it shorter for certain genre or mediums? I figured let's bring the snare drum in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do your thing. It sounds great.
So somebody's asking, and I do want to ask you, JR, your thoughts on that first take and what you would change after.
Well, I've changed the cable.
Yes. Yeah, and I was just saying too, it's not a stretch to if that was the first take. This kind of stuff happens all the time in sessions, Yes,
but and when you lose, I'm not from Cuba, so I do need my gran casa. So in this kind of case, let's say we got a take. Everybody got to take this. Then could be the opposite of what I was saying about me in the '90s, or early '90s. Was maybe the guitar player does JR. We're going to keep my take, but a couple of guys will overdub with me while I do a second take over that. So that could then be the case. I know this song pretty well now, so whatever comes out of this take, there'll be other, hopefully, little pieces of magic that weren't on that first one.
Amazing. And there's one thing that I do have to mention and ask you about that somebody else brought up in the chat, and as a drummer, it caught my attention immediately, and it's how deliberately you play the hi-hat in different ways. Like you're playing with the shoulder of the stick on the shoulder of the hi-hat, you're playing with the tip, you're playing with the shank, you're all over it for different sounds.
Yeah.
Where did that come from, and how do you think about sculpting the song with the hi-hat specifically?
Remember, drummers are musicians, and even though guitar players don't think so, I'm just ragging on guitar players. Why not? But if you listen to old jazz drummers like Joe Jones, there would be so many, or a Buddy Rich, there'd be so many aspects of the shank or the bead and playing in phrases. So this song has a lot of dynamics. And the way to play softly on the hi-hat or no hi-hat at all is with the bead. So part of my groove techniques are using shank tip. So that's kind of how I'm implementing this in 6/8.
Amazing. And for anybody that's interested, JR has a DVD about his playing that you can go and pick up. and a book, and we'll talk about the book.
Yay!
Yeah, we have to talk about the book.
We have to talk about the book.
Just to address a quick question that somebody threw in here. Yes, if this was the take, I can see on the Kick Drum In channel there is enough of a signal that if you really needed to put a sample to replace the in mic, it is possible to salvage exactly that take could be salvaged. The playing was fantastic. It's just that kick in mic was just not there.
Right. And these are the kind of mistakes that are worth their weight in gold.
Yes.
Because that is not going to be the take.
Great. All right. Without further ado, I will. You should have Pro Tools up on your iPad. I will.
I do.
I'll back out and
turn off my vocal.
Yes, will do.
All right, here we go.
You used to love me. Or maybe it's all in my mind, but I tell myself that's how it used to be. You don't make a difference. Sure, I can read all the signs, but I chose to pretend I just could not see. But through all the sorrow, I know there'll be a brighter day tomorrow. I'm waiting on tomorrow. I tried to tell you how I feel about you, but I guess the words got in the way. Didn't know that I was gonna be without you, but I guess you ran out of foolish games to play. They tried to warn me to take my love and run away, run away. I think I'm in trouble. I still see your face every time that I close my eyes, girl. Why can I break free? If you found another, isn't there anything that I can say guess the world's got in the way. Didn't know that I was gonna be without you, but I guess you ran out foolish games to play. And they tried to warn me that you take my love and run away. They tried to warn me that you take my love and run away. They tried to warn me that you take my love and run away. They tried to warn me that you take my love and run away. Run away.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay. So, question for you, JR, right off the bat.
Yes, sir.
How do you keep your composure when something like a technical issue happens, like with the kick drum, for the next take? You know, I think for a lot of people who, you know, you've arguably the most recorded drummer in history, you played on thousands and thousands of sessions. For the people that don't play in sessions all the time, how difficult is it to come back from something like that when maybe your mindset is like, that was the take, I have to do another one now?
Yeah, or engineer, you fix it. I'm going to get a coffee.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Hey, how do you think I became the most recorded drummer? By having mistakes like that and then doing another take.
Right.
No. In all seriousness, it's like you know, I was a basketball player, so it's like if you have a bad game or you fouled out, you know, don't let that carry into the next game. It's the exact same scenario.
That kind of sports mentality. It's interesting. I was a volleyball player, and it's interesting how much that carries over into the performance world, you know.
And a real quick story. When we were, and it's in the book, King of the Groove, which we're going to push hard in a little while. But when we were cutting Rock With You, in my opinion, Michael's greatest song ever, the first 3 takes were just lifeless. No magic, nothing. And it's like, okay, it's almost like after you just recorded takes 2 and take 3, is it supposed to be? It's not even. It wasn't even in there because no magic came into the room. And then by take 4, magic showed up, and then all of a sudden Bobby Watson's bass parts were different. Everybody reacted differently to the fact that I played this fill. So it was just an interesting scenario to you know, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Just have patience with yourself and don't be too hard on yourself.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense. And just for everybody, JR, really quick, I'm going to put a link to your website, the King of the Groove page, in the chat.
Okay.
So we'll put it in there. People, you can go look at it. We're going to talk about it again when JR is back in the control room. Would you like to do one more, JR, or is that the one?
No, let's do another one.
Do another one. Okay, here we go.
However, I don't know what that number was, so remember that number.
Yes, I will mark that as the one here. Well, the one for now.
And then what I'll do with this is I'm not going to pre-plan it, but maybe there'll be some extra things that if we, you know, as I'm a producer, I make Rob from Peter to, you know, to and plug in, you know.
Yeah, so somebody's just asking here, you know, I think you're going to do exactly what they're saying. You know, they're saying, do you like to do a crazy, insane take just for a weird option?
Yeah, it's in 12/8 or 6/8, it's hard to be crazily insane. You know, I could go. I don't think that, you know, Quincy would like not hire me again. So
yeah, it's kind of there is kind of a boundary that you have to fit in with this kind of a tune expressively, too.
What I love is that when you're doing the fills, you never lose track of where the down, you know, the downbeat is so strong that the snare is just a hammer, you know.
Well, it comes from many years, but you know, I got to say, it's Almighty God bestowed me really good time. So I'm very blessed about that. Yeah, let's go to New Orleans.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to mute your mic. I'll mute ours, and you have Pro Tools.
Here we go. And just remember what that take number was.
Got it.
You used to love me. Or maybe it's all in my mind, but I tell myself that's how it used to be. It don't make a difference. Sure, I can read all the signs, but I chose to pretend I just could not see. But through all the sorrow, I know there'll be a brighter day tomorrow. I'm waiting on tomorrow. I tried to tell you how I feel about you, but I guess the words got in the way. Didn't know that I was gonna be without you, but I guess you ran out of foolish games to play. And they tried to warn me to take my love and run away, run away. I think I'm in trouble. I still see your face every time that I close my eyes, girl. Why can I break free? If you found another, isn't there anything that I can say to bring my babe back to me? But through all the sorrow, I know there'll be a brighter day tomorrow. I'm waiting on tomorrow. I tried to tell you how I feel about you, but I guess the words got in the way. Didn't know that I was gonna be without you, but I guess you ran out of foolish games to play. And they tried to warn me to take my love and run away. They tried to warn me to take my love and run away, run away. Believe me when I tell you. Yeah, you know that you're wrong this time. Oh, you never gave me too much trouble. When you were mine, why you keep on running, babe? Why you keep on running, babe? I tried to tell you how I feel about you, but guess the world got in the way. Didn't know that I was gonna be without you, but I guess you ran out foolish games to play. And they tried to warn me that you take my love and run away. They tried to warn me that you take my love and run away. They tried to warn me that you take my love and run away. They tried to warn me that you take my love and run away. Run away.
There's a chorus of "This is the take" from the chat going on here.
Well, I mean, I took a little more liberty. The question is, in the words of Q, JR, you're dancing too much. So it was good, eh?
Yeah. I think we can get back to the control room here, and we'll dig into a couple things here.
You got it. See you in a while.
I'm gonna bring Pro Tools up. All right, JR, you can hear me okay?
He's coming.
He's coming. Oh, Mike's there. Okay, great. We're just gonna. And once again, a reminder, everyone. I am thousands of miles away doing this. So
what are people thinking? They like the second or the third take better?
yeah. Oh yeah. Thanks, Ben, for the reminder. Also, yeah, number 3. Everybody says
3.
Okay.
And that was that last one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what? It's funny. Everybody's a producer.
Well, you gotta give them a chance.
I think there's a more there's another phrase that we can't say. You know what they say about assumptions. Or not. It's not like that. What is it? Sorry, that was the wrong one. Everybody's opinions are like, you know what? Everybody's got one.
Well, you were so that's so nice of you.
Sorry. Everybody, there's a lot of opinions. This is great. It's like
I'm gonna go ahead and be a producer.
You do it.
Save that and save that.
Great. And so right now, what we're looking at is JR's screen. JR, we're sharing your Pro Tools screen with everybody, so we can have it.
How about we open that up a little bit?
I figured I'd leave it there so you could see us over here.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, just so you're not talking to a screen anymore.
Okay, right. So starting over, should we just start with it, or?
Yeah. Anything you want to share? I mean, you wanted to talk about the cross stick mic specifically, which is an interesting technique.
Right. I mean, let's even back up from that. I have a setup. Actually, I have multiple recording setups in this studio. I have this A setup, which, as you well see, has kick in, kick out, snare top, snare bottom. It's nothing weird. Cross stick, hi-hat, all 4 toms. And if you notice our pannings, there's something to be said about this concept. Overs, rooms, and then a mono room, which is this really weird Austrian vocal mic about 3.5 feet from the kick drum. And then we have a click. I want everybody to know who. Can we get a thumbs up or something? Who here uses Pro Tools in this group?
Yeah, who's a Pro Tools user in the chat? me, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Is it a majority, right?
Yeah, looks like everybody's mostly Pro Tools.
Okay, and the thing is, I use Logic also, but I usually mostly in clinic situations. So I'm just going to show you guys this. If I go into the click, one thing Steve Sykes helped me with, because of the ugliest sound ever made, is this MPC click, no accent. So I run the volumes all the way up, no accent and quarter notes only, or in this case, actually it's still quarter notes. Because I'm writing this in. I don't know why that doesn't go off, but it doesn't matter. So no accent of either thing. If you're playing some odd time stuff, sure you could have an accent in. But unlike the Nashville drummers, who I dearly respect, I don't like eighth notes or 16th note clicks. It gets in the way of the phrasing and the musicality of the song. So in our setup, I have that as setup 1. I can now open this up and get into setup 2 with the Slingerland, first Slingerland set here, which we only use 4 microphones for. And we have both of these set up with full video. And so if I want to do something or more big band oriented or something, that happens. All right. So getting out of here, what we decided to do is I found this little old Shure when I was with Shure in the old days. And I have a little, what do you call it, gooseneck clamp on the top of the kick drum. And it looks like a little teeny Beta 52. And we run it in and we just ran a separate input. I bring it up on 3. Now, you guys were not hearing this. Mm-hmm. What I'm going to do on this playback is I'm going to monitor it as though I'm going to be mixing it. When I'm mixing this, I will take, or cleaning it up, I'm going to take the drums out of group and I will take this cross stick right here. I'm not going to do it now. And I'll make it large. And I will go up here and I will say, okay, we're going to go into samples. And then I'm going to open that baby up, as we well know. And I'm going to clean. Let's go back to the beginning here. I'm going to clean everything up until any sort of cross stick or sample or plame it. And then once I'm done, I will consolidate everything in that situation. So the advantage of having a cross stick is, though, if I send some files to an engineer and he has to do, like, he's going to end up making a separate track from the snare and doing the same thing and bumping it. This way, they get an actual pure cross stick sound, and it's less for him to do. So that's
that's a direct mic. Like you're very close to where the stick hits.
Yeah, it's where the cross stick comes over. It's literally in front about inch and a half. So you got to be careful that you're in control.
So so it sounds like, we talked about this yesterday. There's a considerable amount of work that goes into things after you're done tracking, before you send the files off.
And I will do the exact same thing with toms on a track like this. There's a lot of toms on this. Mm-hmm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and they're grouped. Oh, did I do that? Yeah, one more time. There. I'm going to do the same exact thing to toms. I'm going to clean up everything in and around wherever a tom beat is. And then right after the tom beat, for example, here's a tom beat. Can they hear when I do this?
Yes.
Okay. That clicking, and that's that you going on?
I'm turning your mic on and off.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
So I'll just show you real quick. And I'll probably grab that from like here and just get rid of that. And then at this point, I'll put a crossfade in. So when you
somebody asked something, they said, do you ever do a comp? I saw somebody ask the question. So would you feasibly take part of track 2 that you did, and then add 3 to, or the other way around, like you'd start with 3 and then
once we listen to this take, which seems to be a majority of finality here, if I say that, oh, man, I could do that. So I'll literally highlight an area, go back to the previous take, look at it, copy it, and paste it into this take. Yeah. And then fix it. But just so you guys know, what I just did was this. And then I'll clean all that up.
Wow.
So then what happens is there's two trains of thought there. One is, I like, if you're doing a jazz thing, you want to have all that other stuff in there. Mm-hmm. You want to have tom linkage, but you know, in popular music, generally, I want this stuff as clean as possible and let the kick and the snare and the overheads be the controller.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, your drums already sound finished, you know, and that's your hands and the way you play. And, you know, and we all know how wonderful Steve Sykes is too. You know, having somebody like Steve have an ear on what you're working on. You know, between the two of you, this is the best sounding drum kit I've ever heard through Sessionwire. It's just amazing.
You know, I greatly appreciate that. And, you know, it's funny if you know, right now I'm writing with my friend Jim, a new Kansas City Chiefs theme. Yay. And hold on, I might as well plug them.
Yes. Kansas City Chiefs.
But it's for a chant. I was just in the stadium a week and a half ago. And it's for a chant which will pump up them, and I'm looking maybe coming out of the third quarter, and then they hear this chant. So I will send that to him, and then we will have our yays and nays about what he thinks and what I think, and generally it's like a give and take, basically.
Amazing. We just had Celso, and if it's a Celso, I think it is. Celso's asking if you have any EQ going in to Pro Tools.
The EQ here's. You know, there's a lot of great drummers in this world, and a lot of guys have way too much gear. So all I am doing is running the kick and snare. I don't know if you want to film that. Come around.
Yeah, just so everybody knows, this is being recorded, and we've got Mike there filming some extra stuff.
I have a very old set of 1084 Neves. So I always run, and by the way, this survived the earthquake in '94. Literally, it was in a closet and fell 12 feet, and it goes bang, and I plugged it back in. It worked fine. Wow. So the kick goes into one, snare goes into two. That's that. That's all I got going. Now for the rest of the drums, we're running through Millennia, which are over here. I run, you know, everything runs through Millennia. My number 8 blew up, so I had to buy another set, which that's that. And then what we do with the Yamaha console is we only have monitoring reverb. And in here, I'm running these two verbs that Steve set up that are literally vintage 25-year-old Yamaha plates and reverbs. And then I have verbs running separately on Moses, which I have him coming up on stereo on 15 and 16. But none of this is printed.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. So you're into Pro Tools it's just the Millennia.
Let's look at it.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm doing, and it's only for monitoring, is I'm taking this mono room here. Let me go up to somewhere, and if I solo this, they'll hear that, right?
Yes.
This is an exaggeration of generic Johnny recording. What I want is something a little more power station-ish. So here we go.
It's very, very gated, compressed.
That sounds amazing. So Celso is just clarifying. We're hearing the EQ, the Millennia EQs that you recorded to Pro Tools, but the console's not doing anything that we're hearing.
And to clarify, there is no EQ on Millennia.
Oh.
It's just mic pre.
So we're hearing your drums flat.
That is correct.
Wow.
Well, I mean, Steve may have some bumps on the snare in here. I am not going to go into that direction right now.
That's fine. Yeah, we don't need to dig in there.
But I can tell you that basically running through the old Neves are worth their weight in gold, either 1073s or 1084s. So that's what we're doing. Listen, we can spend days about drum mic placement. And there's like when Mike and I were just changing that cable, he let me step in and replace the bass drum mic as I'm used to putting it, which was just inside the hole about 2 inches. So that was good. So I still have the fatness of the back, but I still get the attack from the Beta 52.
Yeah, and that kind of thing kind of takes a lifetime of experimentation. And you having worked with the finest engineers in the world, I can't imagine what kind of things.
Well, I'll give you a word example. Mick Gazowski, you know, I did the whole Daft Punk album, most of it, 7 songs. Mick, and I've done, that's what friends are for with Mick. And when I first started working with Mick, it was over at Conway, and he had a C500, and I go, oh, that's a cool. I've never used one of those, and then I look, and it's all the way by the beater, all the way into the head, and I go, what are you doing, man? You're not going to get any of the body or my feel. He goes, don't worry, JR, it's going to be great. So I heard the bass drum sound. I go, this is some of the best bass drums miking. Anybody else that's tried a C500 could never do that. So I always put it kind of more in the front of the bass drum.
I will say the Daft Punk song "Game of Love."
Yeah,
that the drum sounds on that song are just ridiculous. Is that the one you're referring to?
That's one of them.
One of them, yeah. So this is a drummer nerd question. I know in your DVD you always talk about playing heel down.
Yeah.
And letting that beater come off the head. That contributes a lot to getting that low end response from a bass drum as well.
It does. Now, a lot of people don't know through, before COVID and into COVID, I broke my tibia on my right foot, beta testing a foot pedal that will go nameless that I almost potentially sued. Oh. And I'm not going to go any further than that because I opted just to back out. Mm-hmm. But I looked down and my ankle was at 90 but I was still playing. So something was really weird. So I stopped and went to therapy, bam, boot, and kept recording during COVID. I had to go to therapy, but it forced me, including some vascular issues from 10 years ago, to readdress heel down all the time. So on this song, I did both.
Interesting.
Depending on the dynamics.
Interesting, but still always beater coming off the head, never burying.
Well, there's been times where I'll bury. Now, my Ed Soph teaching when I was 16 and 17, now I'm a bit older, so I'm able to use everything that's in the tool belt.
As you should.
Yeah. And for everybody, Ed Soph is one of the finest drum educators on the face of the planet.
No question.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. Colin's asking what percentage of the recording is the room mics that we're hearing, and then to go along with it, somebody asked how big the room is and what the treatment is like in your drum room.
We can welcome to Mike will take some shots of it. The room is a living room in a kind of a Spanish house in Northwest Thousand Oaks. So it's all terracotta tile wrapped in carpet. I have full wall treatments from stuff I did from the old days. There's still some slacking. I had 2 giant windows, so I had deadening drapes made, which are the key, and we've pulled them all the way shut in this situation. The room is about probably 25 feet long to where the foyer starts, and then it excels up to 25 feet. My room mics are blueberries, I think, and kind of old school, and they're way up on giant booms, way up at the top, equally split. So the percentage of room I'm using on playback, I mean, I can show you guys if you want.
Sure.
But I guess you ran out of foolish games to play, and they tried to warn me to take my love and run away. They tried to warn me to take my love and...
So what I did, you can hear me, right?
Yep.
Yeah, what I did was I just muted it, and it's incredibly clean. Generally speaking, when I learned from Bruce Swedian and Al Schmidt, the drum sound comes from the overheads. This was the way the mentality was in the 60s and 70s. Then you layer in your kick and snare drum. Now that has kind of reversed in today's technology, where there'll be times where I will get rid of the overheads, rid of the rooms, and come with an incredibly just right in your face kick and snare drum, and then just dial in a little bit for air. So it depends on the song.
Got it. And I think that's what somebody, Colin, is asking here. He says, it seems that each mic placement technique could change to fit different rooms and mostly must be done in real time for each recording.
Yeah, and I'm also very, very close to Chris Lord-Alge. I helped get him here into Los Angeles, and his brother Tommy and I worked with just a great stuff with Steve Winwood's record. So I learned a lot from those two brothers. If I want to take this, and theoretically I could put, I guess I could do that. Let's just do it. What the hell? We have time. We have time.
And just while you're doing that, real quick, everyone, hit that giveaway link one more time if you haven't done it yet. After JR kind of demos this, we're going to do the giveaways. And we'll bring Ben from ILIO in, and we'll get that done too.
So I just put in Bigfoot, just as stock without even tweaking it into the room. And here we are real quick.
But I guess you ran out of foolish games to play, and they tried to warn me to take my love.
In there, even though I'm getting an awful lot of low end, as I can hear the back walls vibrating. So, you know. And here's another thing, you guys. I'm not. This thing isn't treated like I'm in Conway C. It's you know, this is my home. So this is kind of I go for a vibe, and if it feels good, then I'll let it out.
Yeah.
Oh man. Just answering a question here. Celso is asking if you're monitoring your headphones from your console.
No, not headphones.
Yeah, in the control room, it's monitors, but out in the room, your mix is from your console, right?
That I have a separate mix on 11 and 12, and I could actually program, I believe, 8 mixes on this console, but I have it on 11 and 12. So if I'm in here recording, I have another tube mic here, which you guys can't see, that if I'm doing percussion or overdubs or vocals or snaps or whatever I'm doing, I'll record, I'll use the board mix and dial everything back down to make sure that this mic isn't leaking, no click into it and that sort of thing. Yeah, I will do a board mix.
Gotcha. Amazing. Okay. One last chance, everyone. Hit that link. I'm going to flip over here, JR, and we'll stop sharing your screen. So one more question before we hit the giveaways here, and I bring Ben in. Henrik asked, do you prefer headphones while tracking, or do you prefer overhead or room mics or close mics in your headphones while you're tracking?
It's a good question. Let me try to get Sessionwire back up.
Oh.
Where how do I
right on the edge, you'll get a little arrow.
How about I go like that?
Oh, there you go. Oh, you don't want to see all of me, though. Here,
why not see all of you? Oh, there you go. Okay, the question was, all right, so in my mix, it's interesting the way this console works is I have the drum mix pretty healthy. Toms are lower, overheads are a little more brilliant. I'm using Mojave tubes, 200s, and the room is just adequate. And my reverbs are pretty pronounced on slower songs. The music, I make sure if the music is as loud on this console as my drums, it kills me. So I have to find that right balance.
Gotcha. Yeah, everybody's mixes while they're recording and performing are so unique. You know, I remember sharing somebody's mix one time, and the kick and snare were just pinned in the headphone mix, and I couldn't hear anything other than drums. But that's
yeah.
Oh. Yeah, that's a good thing.
I'm kidding. You know, I can tell all you guys, all the guitar players that are online, is there have been times where I've literally cut my thumb open from a particular guitar player. So thank God we got into mixers in the big studios, and I just mute.
Yeah.
They probably want to know. I just wrote a rough drum chart.
Oh yeah, okay.
Was that for this song?
That's this song.
Wow.
I mean, I didn't get into detail. I just basically did meat and potatoes.
So did you used to do that for every song that you did? Did you always have a? And how many people brought in their own charts ever? Like that
rarely. I mean, if we're on a real date, I mean, like a paid for date. I mean, even like Lady Gaga's song. I don't know if I wrote that one out or not, but they'll have a copyist.
Yeah, right.
You know, and when we went, I went through stuff for years when the Streisand band first started in '93, where they had like 8 copyists sitting at a table, just ching, you know, I thought I was in Vegas.
Yeah.
And the font of the drums or the rhythm section font was wrong. And I went and explained. It was the beginning of Sibelius, and I go, you guys got to come up with, it's called Jazz Font 2. So they invented a new font for me, which is now the standard of rhythm sections, and it's just a lot easier to read.
Wow.
Yeah, question about so when you're referring to font, are you referring to like actual letters, or are you referring to the note heads and everything as well?
It's the same, like, you know, in Sibelius or the other one, they have all these different fonts that you can just select all, and it'll change everything to it. Like, let's say you're a violin player and you're playing in an orchestra, you may want to see it more, you know, italic, you know, with more of an orchestral look that you're used to from your university. You know, I went to Berkeley, so it was a jazz font.
Oh,
interesting.
So you learn how to read. You learn how to read music. I mean, you learned all the theory and everything.
I've been reading since I was 5, and my dad hit me with a stick about piano. And then I started singing in church and kind of learned that way. And then you know, there you go. It's in the book. It's all in the book.